this is Adam, and this is our second day of our Crown Chakra Healing Camp. We're going to talk about the questions that you need to ask yourself just to make sure that this is the desired chakra that may be blocked and the one that you should be focusing on, but also the yoga poses that you can utilize to balance the chakra, or at least get it prepared to be balanced with the alternatives or a combination of all of them. But before we do that, let's go into the questions that you need to ask yourself. The physical attributes of a blocked crown chakra is for the most part in the head. So headaches, migraines, nerve pain, depression, and insomnia. So nerve pain is because it's on the top of the head, and that is where the nerve endings start. They go all the way down, so if you feel the nerve pain in your arms, in your legs, wherever you have it, it still could be this chakra that is imbalanced, which is kind of interesting. Depression. This is the one that I had the most problem with because of my depression. And I knew that this was blocked, but I had to build up the foundation of my chakra balancing before getting to my crown. It's a long and tedious journey. You can't just start with the crown, because then everything will go off balance. You have to balance everything to have this one balanced. Insomnia. This one will come into play with the alternative chakra, or the alternative methods of healing this chakra. But if you have a lack of sleep, that's a really big indicator that this crown chakra may be blocked for either the actual insomnia or an outside force such as stress, or outside forces like a spouse, even. Migraines and headaches, they're somewhat interchangeable, with migraines being a little more on the serious end of the spectrum than the headache portion of it, but those are some physical attributes that could be associated with a blocked crown chakra. There are also so many psychological and metaphysical abilities that may be in a term of a loose of focus when this is, imbalanced, there we go, or blocked. Feelings of loneliness. Do you feel lonely despite the fact that you're around people? Do you have a desire to isolate yourself for any reason, either the embarrassment of that particular incident, or you are embarrassed by some sort of outside force, or you just want to be alone? I sometimes have this, but it's more about the necessity of getting away from people because I'm cynical in a lot of ways. But if you want to, because you feel alone, so you want to isolate yourself in your self-pity, that could be a side effect of a blocked crown chakra. A loss of focus, or the inability to concentrate if you jump from thing to thing, or if you want to do it but you don't because you have 1,000 other things to do, or you make up 1,000 things to do in your mind to do besides that because it might be difficult. That's an indicator of a blocked crown chakra. Disconnection from your spirit. If you have a disconnection from your spiritual center, which is the antithesis of chakra, the chakra system in its entirety, then you have a blocked crown chakra. When the crown chakra is blocked, our connection to the universe is dampened, and it can feel nearly impossible to find your sense of direction in life. You may also feel more cynical regarding your destiny, unable to sense the blessings and successes that will come your way. I am cynical towards people. I think people are quite annoying at times, and given other circumstances, they could be more, annoying than others. But then there are days where everyone is just doing everything right, everything is going correct, and really the crown chakra is one of the ones that you will notice the most that might be imbalanced. But being cynical in your destiny, what does that mean? That means that you feel that your potential is not what it is all cracked up to be. If you feel personally limited by certain circumstances, financial or physical, might be something there, and unable to sense the blessings and successes that will come your way. If you, for instance, I'm an artist, and I have made art from around the world, and it's been presented in many of museums and a bunch of different cultural centers and a bunch of hospitals. And looking back at it now, I am very blessed that, number one, I have the ability to convey these messages that people really enjoy, to the point of me traveling the world for it. But then also, at the time, I remember this almost distinctively, I hated everything I did. I am my own biggest critic. If you're an artist, it happens. But if you can't see that, even looking back at it now, I couldn't see it at the time when that happened because my chakra was imbalanced. While an imbalanced crown chakra can make you feel disconnected from your spiritual center, an overactive crown chakra can have the opposite effect, causing an obsession regarding spiritual matters. If you have gone gung-ho and you're absorbing all of this and you're playing around with forces beyond any kind of control that you may or may not even know, that's what that is. If you are conjuring with an Ouija board, or if you're diving into the occult, all of that obsessive spiritual matter disorder, rituals, what have you, is also an overactive crown chakra. There is a balance where you need to, if you wish to pursue spiritual matters, there is a way to go about it. Talk to a Reiki master. It takes time, it takes patience, and you need to know what you're doing. It's very powerful when you deal with this stuff, people. It really is. If you've been closed-minded, unable to focus, or disconnected from the sacredness of life, there's a good chance your crown chakra needs some attention. So there we go. A lot of great questions that you need to ask yourself, but a lot of it is more cynical than it is outside. So let's start with some meditation poses. Now, obviously, a lot of these are going to be based around the top of the head where the crown chakra resides. I do recommend going to a yoga class for these specifically for a good teacher, and also possible alternatives if you're not this advanced in yoga. The headstand. Once again, a lot of core strength, and you need to be able to relax. And, I don't want anybody to break their neck or hurt themselves. Please, if you really do want to do this with yoga and Pilates positions, you must go to a professional. The rabbit pose. A little bit easier, but once again, be very, very careful. The corpse pose, much easier to do. Use a pillow or something so you're comfortable. It's more about focusing on the body that's attached to the ground, that's connected, and you will feel that spirit rise back up where it needs to be. With this one, there's also a lot of uniqueness on alternative yoga techniques that could assist you in this. Now, these ones are more of an inner word speaking of yourself, but a lot of it is outwardly silent. Intentional silence. When outdoors in a natural setting, this is a powerful practice. This powerful practice connects you with your environment and can deliver your mind to the present moment. That's what we need to think about, present moment. You do not have to be alone to practice intentional silence. However, it may be harder to maintain in company if you are new to the practice. The practice of intentional silence begins with you intentionally choosing not to speak. Over time, this practice impacts how you listen as well as how you express your thoughts through conscious speech. You might start practicing in stages. Initially, just jump on a short walk without your phone or MP3 or iPad or iPhone or whatever player, and then build up to spending a day or more in silence. So no television, no podcast, no nothing. You need to understand the connection to the world. I don't particularly do this because I think a lack of sound, at least to me, is very discomforting. I've done it every now and then, especially when I go camping, but for the most part, I don't do this. At least often. Selfless service. When you serve others, your actions resonate with the unifying principle of the crown chakra. Selfless service can be performed in small acts, such as holding the door open for someone or picking up a random piece of litter in your neighborhood. Seva, or selfless service, can also be performed through more dramatic and recurring gestures, such as anonymously donating funds to a cause that you care about or making meals for a friend who has a long-term illness. The key seva is the word selfless, which describes non-recognition and non-reward for your actions. You do not expect to receive compensation, recognition, or even appreciation for what you offer. Instead, you offer freely without strings attached. That one I do quite a bit. I volunteer at my local wildlife sanctuary here in Las Vegas. I don't get paid for it, nor do I want any kind of selfless. It's my selfless service. I enjoy animals. I love doing it. But, people thank me, and I say thank you, but it's not my intention. If your intention is to get recognition or applause or appreciation, that's not selfless. If you receive it, it's still selfless because your goal is to not get anything back. So there are those, but if you want to do more of a deep dive in meditation, sit down with your palms upward to your head on your lap. So palms right on your knees, or the back of your hand to your knees, but the palms in the air. Visualize 1,000-petal lotus or a crown on your head. Imagine the petals gently opening to reveal an intense light. Remember, think of violet and white or a light to convey the message of your healing of the chakra. This will take about 15 minutes, give or take, depending. If you want to do it longer, you can. And we'll go through the affirmations later, like at the very end, but this is at least something that you can do now. Let this divine light flow down into your crown chakra. Do the affirmations, you can look them up as well, or create one that means most to you. If you are alone, you can say the words silently. In a group, you may wish to chant them out loud in unison. Feel the light spiraling down your body, enjoying the warm glow that it saturates your entire being. Let every cell be permeated by light and inspiration, and every part of your conscious will be illuminated. And after 15 minutes of this, take a couple of deep breaths, open your eyes, go about your day. Very easy. It is a very easy thing to do, but it's very powerful. You might experience a lot of things because a lot of this, with all the other chakras, is about facing the fears. And with this one, it's about healing the entire system. Thank you all for listening. If you did enjoy this, subscribe and click those notifications to know when I release the next crown chakra video. Also, if you want to know more about how the crown chakra can help you in your life in every facet of, I would highly recommend checking out the first link in the description. It's a free sign up for a video that I will personally send to your email. It's that powerful. So go ahead and check it out, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.